What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and it is Monday here, and I got a beautiful Onyx Boa around my neck. This is about the biggest Onyx Boa you'll ever see because they're really small, and even this girl is still, she lives in a really small ball python type. She's about as big as a big ball python, and she's probably about 7 years old now. She's bred for me 3 times, and the Onyx gene is a dark morph that resembles a leopard. It's allelic with it, meaning that they're compatible. And they produce like a super-like form together. I've never done it myself, but I know they've done it in Europe. And I've been just trying to really work on cool Onyx stuff here at this facility. And I love the fact that the Onyx Boas stay really small. The males are probably a fraction of the size of this female. And she was small for many years, and she's just grown, over the years. She's got a little bigger, but this is about she's topped out. Like I said, she's a ball python size, not even as thick. And she's about as sweet as they come, although every time I say that, I always wind up getting bit. And I want to show you the potential of this gene and show you some of the combinations that I've made and I have here. This female actually produced a lot of them because not only is she Onyx, but she's het for Honduran T positive. She's het for blood and het for Anari 2, which was a surprise when I got her. I never knew that. I kind of figured that out through breeding. And she'll probably go into the rotation again this year. I found that sometimes the Central Americans can breed more than like 2 years in a row and you can give them a year off, whereas the Colombians really need a whole year off in between. Once again, it depends on if they put their size back. She's an excellent eater, so I never really worry about that. But if you're looking for a small snake, something that stays relatively small, you can put it in a ball python enclosure and not have to worry about it, but yet it has the personality of a boa. These Onyx combinations are amazing. Just make sure that if you get an Onyx, that it's combined with something that's also dwarf or small, because if it's combined with like albino, the Colombian albino, it's going to get bigger, obviously. So I try to keep mine all really small, and if I ever do crossbreed them with something else that's bigger, I'll obviously tell people that it's a kind of like it's not a purebred dwarf. But yeah, these things are, like what I call the super dwarf boas, and they're really cool. So we're going to go in, take a look at some of the babies I've produced and some of the snakes I have kept back, and hopefully get you guys interested in the Onyx project. All right, this is an Inca Onyx. Inca is an incomplete dominant. Gives, I guess whoever named the Inca made it, thought of the Incan Indians. The patterning really, I don't know, it completely fits the snake when it's in its single gene form. And I combined the Inca with the Onyx Boa, both being, dwarf localities and small. And I think this is, I would bet this is an Inca Onyx combination. There is a super form of the Inca, which Frank Nutt, my friend, tells me is viable. A lot of people thought it wasn't viable. And he showed me a couple that he has. They're pretty cool. And of course, the super Onyx is really cool as well. Takes away a lot of the pattern, but you get some really cool looking stuff going on. So Inca Onyx, and this is a double het. If you guys remember from some of my previous videos, I bred a Nicaraguan T positive to a Honduran T positive, and I got double hets because they're not compatible. So future potential here, obviously, maybe hitting the double T positive in the future. But right now, the really nice looking snake, growing well, getting some nice, cool, contrasty like pattern and color in them. And if you like dark, morphs, this is definitely it. It's very similar to leopard. They're allelic to each other from what we know, but separate genes for sure. All right, here's a 2019. This is an Onyx Sunglow, or Sunglow Onyx. That's a T positive Sunglow we're talking about. So it's Honduran T positive, Hypo, Onyx. It's also possible het for blood and het for Anari 2. Look at that eye. This male is really nice. I think I'm gonna put him in the breeding rotation this year. He's old enough. Look how tiny he is. These Onyx boas are really small. If you're looking for dwarf boas, look at my hand compared to him. And this is a breedable male. They don't eat a lot. They don't get very big. They do the job, and they still have all the personality and beauty of a boa. They're just small. Look at the amazing coloration. Because Onyx is dark, and then you take away some of the darkness with the T positive, which Honduran T positive is gorgeous, and then Hypo in addition to that. So get this beautiful T positive Sunglow Onyx. All right, here's an interesting Onyx. morph. This one's going to go into shed, but this is an Anari Onyx, or Anari 2. Anari Type 2. Removes all the reds. Then you have that darkness from the Onyx. Look at that striped tail. But you have no reds in there whatsoever. It's just like a charcoal-y looking snake. A real steely gray eye. And you get a really nice looking, you're into Anari stuff, this is, Onyx Anari is really spectacular. And this is also possible head blood and possible head for Honduran T positive. So we got a lot of, this is a really powerful snake. Some of these are going to go up for sale soon because I haven't really listed. I don't list Onyxes. People usually just contact me and I sell them that way because there's not a lot of them. They don't have big, huge, litters, and I usually wind up keeping a lot of them. So that's Anari Onyx. All right, these two Onyxes are really pretty cool, and I put them out together even though they're a couple years apart. And of course, the one on the right had to be in shed because I wanted to do the video today. But this one on the right is a Super Onyx blood. So it's got the recessive blood, and then it's got the homozygous form of the Onyx gene. If you flip it over, you can see a lot of red in this baby. It almost looks like a leopard, and that's because Onyx and leopard have very similar qualities. Now this one, also in shed, of course, is a Hypo blood Onyx. So one copy of Onyx gene, except it's got the Hypo, which strips away a lot of the black. And you can see, and then it's got blood in it. So really two very similar snakes, but yet different enough that, they have a different look to them. This snake is a lot more red usually when it's not in shed. This one too, believe it or not. But I like both of them, and I'm keeping this one because I do like the variation. I like the Hypo gene in there because it does make the snake a lot redder. You would think that the Super Onyx, blood would be redder than the Hypo Onyx blood, but it's not. All right, I'm gonna end the video with this amazing girl. I've shown you her before. This is probably my star pupil Onyx. This is a Super Onyx Hypo Honduran T positive. So it's a T positive sun glow, Super Onyx blood T positive. I said T positive, so too many G's. Anari Type 2. So T positive sun glow, Super Onyx blood, and then it also has the Anari 2 in it, which takes away a lot of the red. But it's looking very red today. But it's usually a very ghost-like look to it. Imagine how red this would be if there wasn't an Anari gene. If this snake still has red in it and it's Anari, you could imagine what this thing would look like if it wasn't Anari. And this female is going to be breeding this year, hopefully. Put her into the rotation, and we'll see what she produces. Hopefully nothing with Anari in it. The Anari stuff's cool, but I want to get some really red stuff from her. So you saw a lot of different Onyxes today in combinations, and I have more, but can't show them all. This once again is my favorite, but there's some ones that are very spectacular in the collection. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed all the different Onyx boas that I showed you. It was a kind of a quick hit. Mondays usually are a little crazy for me, so I can't really go too nuts with it. I wasn't really feeling well this morning. When you have young kids, they always come home and get you sick, unfortunately. Luckily, no COVID. But so I kind of was laying low, and I kind of did this video a little later in the day. But like I said, I love the Onyx Boa morph. I love the combinations it makes, and hopefully this year we'll be making some cool stuff. This wasn't a great boa year for me. I've said it before. I had a couple good litters. Obviously, you saw the Onyx Inca boa I did produce. But when you put a lot of females and a lot of males together, you hope to produce more than like 3 litters. But look, sometimes the odds gods are not helping you. Sometimes conditions that are beyond your knowledge, are happening, and that's just the way it goes. And so next year will be a better year, and that's the attitude you got to take. All right, guys, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.